What's up, Zoners? Tonight is our Week 2 Beard Time Breakdown. We're going to first go over all the latest fantasy football news in our News and Brews segment. And then I'm going to share a secret start of the week with you that is guaranteed to be on your waiver wire unless you're in that 1%. And guess what, dude? He's going to get 10-plus targets almost guaranteed, so stick around for that. And then we're going to give you some more starts of the week. And then after that, we're going to go over all the fantasy consequences from last night's Thursday night football game. If that sounds good to you, hang on for 7 seconds. What's up, Zoners? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard Ethan Wolk, coming at you live from the West Coast. And this is the Fantasy RZ. Today's episode, we're going to start it off with the latest and greatest breaking news, Jason. But before we get into all that, I'm going to stutter, and then I'm going to say, Jason, please tell the public how they can help this show.
Yeah, if you guys made it this far, if you guys could please hit the subscribe, press the like. We like the likes. And also leave a comment what you think about some of the players that we're going to go over during this episode. Also, if you like the radio, we're on Spotify at the Fantasy Red Zone.
Thank you, Jason. All right, dog. I saw this. This made me very happy. I am a Devonta Adams owner, and then Jacoby Myers, kicked ass last week. And then Devonta Adams was on the injury report on Wednesday, and I was like, shit, dude, this is terrible, man. I've had my top dudes on the injury report for the first 2 weeks. This is crazy. I was all happy Devonta fell to me. And then he's on the injury report. I was all pissed off. Anyways, Jason, he fully participated in practice and is not on the injury report. Also, Jimmy Garoppolo fully participated, not on the injury report. So that makes me feel a lot better, Jason. How do you feel about that? You are Jacoby Myers' owner now.
Yes, traded for him. Have him. I traded for him knowing that he probably was going to play this week because of the concussion protocol. So it doesn't look like he's going to play, and I'm okay with that. I'm more for the next week. This week is already almost like a guaranteed loss for me because of my matchups and who I'm going against. But, yeah, I was kind of surprised to see Devonta Adams on the injury report, but I'm glad that he's off now. He can have a potential to have a really big game with Jacoby Myers out there.
Jason, who did you trade for Jacoby Myers?
Do we have to get into that?
Yes, dude. This is a fucking TV show. You got to do it.
Cam Akers?
All right, so you got rid of your Cam Akers stock. There you go. I just wanted to make sure, Jason. Is that crazy?
That's a little crazy. I have Williams, though.
So Jason got Kyren Williams on the waiver wire last week. I got Pikachu. I choose you, Pikachu.
Dude, I like that.
Yeah, it's been on Reddit a bunch. I'm like, but all my name in my leagues are Big Turd because I'm trying to promote the brand, Jason. I'm trying to promote the brand.
Big Turd.
Until I start losing, then I'm gonna be like, who the fuck is? It's not me. That's not me. Change my name and everything. Jason, Kadarius Toney hit our 12-man waivers. I think, right? Is he on our waiver?
He got dropped.
I was thinking about picking him up, but I picked up my secret stat or my secret start of the week instead. How do you feel about Kadarius Toney? Because if I didn't pick up my secret start, I think I would pick up Kadarius Toney and look for one more week.
Yeah, I was thinking about going after him for cheap, but someone in our league expressed that he was going after him and how much he was going after him with. And I'm like, dude, I can't outbid him. That'd be low of the commissioner of the league to have the trust of its people and then betray them. So I had to back off and let the guy get him.
Jason, I drafted Travis Kelce in the first round because I missed out on Tyreek Hill. I was like, I'm going to draft Tyreek Hill, man. Watch this. And then he got picked right before me. I got all pissed off, and I was like, fuck it. I'm going to just do Travis Kelce. I did that. It worked out. I think I won the draft in our league, our 12-man. But, hey, if you win the draft, it doesn't mean shit because before you even start the game, people go out. But, hey, dude, Travis Kelce is a good to go. He's a good to go. I've been watching a lot of Mario. He's a good to go for next week, Jason.
Did you see the highlight of him when he pulled his hamstring?
No, I did not see that.
It's one of those jokes, Tyler, where he's what? He's running, and he's holding his hamstring, and then he twerks.
At today's at practice?
Yeah, practice. Oh, but I watched it because the thumbnail is him holding his leg. I'm like, bro, don't tell me. And then at the end, he's twerking. I was like, God damn it.
Apparently, he's dating Taylor Swift. Maybe.
It's rumored.
I mean, hey, dude. I mean, she's talented. I like the thicker chicks. I like them thick. So should be Taylor's thick. I'd be dating Taylor thick, not Taylor Swift.
Okay.
I know, right? We're both married.
The thickies, right? Is that what they call Taylor Swift? The Swifters, they could call them. Taylor Thick, the thickies.
There you go, Jason.
Yeah.
I'm a thickie. All right. Clyde Edwards Hilaire. He did not participate in practice Friday. And if you paid attention to that game, like the only competition, like they actually started with CEH. I drafted him his rookie year. I thought he was gonna be good. He sucked. So yeah, dude, like expect Isaiah Pacheco to get a little bit more work. And I dropped Jarrett McKinnon. I know I was pushing him, but I was pretty pissed off when I saw him not dominating pass catching when Kelsey out. Like, when am I going to start you any other time? When Kelsey is out working the middle of the field.
Yeah. Well, with Edwards, if he does play, he'll get the first 6 carries, and then the rest is Pacheco.
Holy shit, dude! It's 9:15. I put the wrong date on so much stuff today. Oh my god!
And then Pacheco's also starting to catch the ball.
Yeah, dude, he got 4 targets. So there you go. Jason, one of my waiver wire league winners, Jawan Johnson. He fully participated in practice this week. I would start him. I mean, I think that he is. If you waited and drafted him late, I still think he is great. I think he's going to be a top 7 or 6 or 5 tight end by the end of the season when Derek Carr gets settled in. Anyways, Jason, Kendre Miller, he was one of our, we should pick up. I think he was one of our sleepers. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
He was limited in practice, so he's been out, and now he's limited, so that's better. And then, but the problem is that we only have one more. We have this week and then next week of Alvin Kamara being suspended, and then I get my Alvin Kamara that I waited on.
Right. I was looking at maybe picking up Miller for the short period of time because if I think they're playing against Carolina, right? They're going against the Panthers.
Yeah, dude, and the Panthers suck.
They just gave up a lot of rushing to the Atlanta Falcons. So,
and then also now coming up, Jason, my number one waiver wire pickup of the week, the guy that I spent $77 fucking on, man. We only have $100, and I'm like not sober. I'm sitting on the toilet. I'm just like, if I don't get this guy, because I'm in a 12-man league. And when you're in a 12-man league, these first couple of weeks are so important to pick up the dudes that'll carry you for the rest of the season. So I just went out and I spent so much money, and then I won it by like $60. I was so stupid, but I don't care, dude. I got my dude, Jason. And then after all that, it came out that he had an oblique injury. And he was dealing with pain and shit, and you saw that. He is questionable for week 2, but Sean McVay said he believes he's going to play, and I even saw a report that Puka said he's going to play. If he plays, Jason. What's his name? Cooper Kupp has had I think it was 80 in a touch, 111 in a touchdown, 120 in a touchdown. So no just game-breaking games, but Cooper Kupp does perform against the last 3 games against the 49ers. So I am actually probably going to start Puka Nacua in my flex in my 12-man league. So don't be afraid to start him.
Well, I feel like there's going to be more passing for Puka Shells in this next game.
Jimmy, the ball.
I think they also, the secondary, there's a player. There's Jimmy Ward. He's still for the 49ers, right? Isn't he in the secondary?
Are you talking about my cousin, dude? You better keep his name out of your fucking mouth.
Yeah, I think he's out. He's out for this upcoming game.
Let me check my text.
So that's
Oh yeah, he's out.
Hey, cuz I'm not playing this game, so make sure you start Puka Shells.
Inside tip. Speaking of inside tip, Jason, Dalton Schultz. He practiced fully. Dude, Dalton Schultz got the stack of cash. He was great last year for you. He's one of your league winners that panned out. And I expect him to do well in this offense. He did okay. But, dude, C.J. Stroud did better than I thought he was going to do against the Ravens. I think that Dalton Schultz, if you have him, you better – or if you don't have him, I don't know, dude. I think that he's going to be a really good tight end for you this season.
Yeah, start him if you have him. I think C.J. Stroud he's gonna get better as the year goes along too.
And then Jason, Robert Woods, who I had on my waiver wire, I think he got like 10 targets to your dude's Nico Collins 11 targets. He was all like, injured just like he usually is, but he is not. He fully participated, is off the injury report. I think that's big. And then Jason, here's a huge one. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
So I traded. I picked up Hayden Hurst off the waiver wire and then traded it to this dude on my league for Josh Kelly just because I listened to the podcast of. I think I was up in the mountains and I had to listen to Jim Rome. I only listen to him when I can't get Rich Eisen. And Austin Eckler was on there and said that he hurt his ankle and he's not going to be doing too well. He's like, "Are you gonna start this week?" And he's like, So he did not sound confident then. I put in the trade early, and then I got him, and then it became way more unfair as the time went on, Jason. But anyways, the thing about Austin Eckler, he came on a podcast today, Jason, and said, "Don't worry, if you own me, don't worry about anything. He's probably not going to play this week, but this ankle injury is not going to keep him out for long, and he's going to come back." So I think this Joshua Kelly thing might be only for 1 week, and that's pretty shitty because they're going against the Titans, who have the second allowed the second least amount of points to opposing fantasy running backs last year, and just killed whoever it was last week. So it's
the
not
Saints.
Good. Yeah, the Saints.
Well, this is going to be the true test of Kelly Moore's new offense and the Chargers' offensive line.
Oh,
see how it holds up.
Who would you start, Jason? Would you start James Kelly going up against the Titans, or would you start Puka Nacua in your flex spot going against the this is the predicament I'm in, going against the 49ers?
I will not start a running back against the 49ers, but I will start a wide receiver against the 49ers.
But so you'd rather have Puka Nacua over Joshua Kelly?
Yep.
That's where I'm headed right now too.
So, yeah, I mean, look how good.
What? Sorry.
Look how good Matthew Stafford was last week.
Dude, his arm looked amazing. Like
it looked great. I don't think you're going to be able to run against the Niners. I don't think you're going to be able to run against the Titans. But I think you're going to be able to throw against the Niners.
Okay, so I think this might be the last one, Jason. But I'm going to look in Zach Moss
and Tyler. Hold on, before we go to that, I'm pretty sure I'm going to start Tutu Atwell also in my flex.
As well, you should, because I could see them in like locking down. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm very afraid of the 49ers, but I'm in a predicament, in 12-man league where I just need to start this dude anyways. And then pretty soon I'll be able to. It's either I have to start Raheem Mostert versus the 49ers. Dude, this is some shit going on, man. It's been a tough 2 weeks or week and a half in the fantasy football world, Jason. Mm-hmm. You and I both, dude. So, Jason, Deontay Johnson did not participate in practice today, and like I said, he was talking about he might be an IR, he might not. Jason, Pat Freiermuth got like knocked out. I think he got fucked up when I was watching that game against the 49ers. He got hit in the chest and just got fucked, man. I was like, oh my god. He's back to fully participating in practice, and he's the guy that you want on your team. Like Pat Freiermuth is going to catch he's got a good chance to catch 10 touchdowns this year. And you see that. Yeah, and you see that offensive line. It's probably going to take half the year for that thing to start gelling anyways.
Well, did you see they did play against the Niners, dude. Niners got a tough D-line, but did you see that? Oh, who's that rookie they drafted, that tight end, that Darnell Washington, I want to say? Was that the...
Yep.
Dude, he pancaked Bosa.
Dude, Darnell Washington's like 6... Dude.
He's a big dude.
I was very pissed off when I saw how bad the offense... I get it. The 49ers are amazing, but I don't know. I thought the Steelers' offense was going to be just doing better, there was no time for anything. It just fucking sucked.
Well, let's see how they are this week against the Browns. I think it's another good test. Week 2.
And there's a bunch of shit right now, Jason, but I'm just scrolling down. Darren Waller, dude, he said that he has a hamstring injury, and it feels like he said it's lingering. If you drafted Darren Waller where you are, dude, good luck to make the whole season. So he's not on the injury report for week 2, but I could have swore to God when I heard him talking about all the tweets and shit that I saw earlier in the week, it didn't sound good at all. Devin A. Chain, Jason, you own. He's still he fully participated and he is not on the injury report. So this is huge. We need to see, like, especially against a good defense, like Raheem Mostert is injured and really he did okay. I mean, you saw him; he still has burst and stuff. But I want to see Devin Achane against a good defense. So you're holding him, right? You still have him,
Yep, he's projected 1 point.
dude. He's worth keeping, man, because that offense is fucking crazy. I think the only time that they're ever going to get stopped is against the Patriots. And hey, if you have the Patriots defense, look at Tyler Big Turd Ward. He's starting him this week, or them. They're plural. I'm going to start the Patriots defense this week. Jason, is that crazy?
Yes.
I know. Well, I wanted to pick up my secret starter of the week, so I had to drop the Broncos defense against the Commanders, and I was like, "Fuck it."
Oh, okay.
I won the first week. Let's roll, dude. Speaking of Raheem Mostert, he was on the injury report all week. He is not. He is my running back number 2 this week. Got to do it. And then Jason, Romeo Dobbs, who I picked up in our 10-man, and I'm starting in our 10-man, and I listened to Chris Long. He loves Romeo Dobbs. He injured his hamstring, but he fully participated in practice Friday, and now he's not on the injury report. Dude, if you have got Romeo Dobbs, you better start his ass.
Now is the time.
Now is the time for me to rise to my fate. Jason and I listen to rap, we listen to reggae, we listen to death metal. Jason was the lead singer of a fucking death metal band at one point.
All you got just say I hate you and growl. I hate you. I hate you.
I was in the only band I've ever been in is the fucking marching band at school, if you know what I'm talking about.
I played the trumpet.
Yeah, I know you were there like my first year, and then you disappeared real fast.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not carrying around this thing for another year.
Want to hear a story about a band teacher? I was in marching band until he threw down the drummer, because you know the big old bass drum that you're connected to? It was Mike Chambers, man. He said something, and our band teacher fucking picked him up and threw him, connected to the drum and everything. And I was like, all right, everybody quit.
Damn.
You don't remember that because you're gone. That shit happened today. Be like national news and shit.
Yeah.
Right. Jason, let's get into our starts of the week.
Wait.
What's up? What do we have?
Is Jerry Jeudy playing?
Oh, Jerry Jeudy is playing. I did not go to week. Sorry, there's so much breaking news from today, dude. I was just like, oh my god, how much should I go over?
I've been trying to keep an eye on Mark Andrews too.
Mark Andrews still has a chance to play, apparently.
Okay, man.
All I've seen on Reddit is like, yeah, dude. It's like, oh, he's out. No, he still has a chance to play. That came out in the official report. So I was like, okay. And then also, Brandon Cooks, Jason, did not participate. He's listed as like, I think he's going to be questionable. But if he does not play, I think that CeeDee Lamb is going to fucking kill it. Yeah, Andrews is still questionable. That came out today. Quadriceps still questionable. But is there anybody from the Cowboys that's worth starting in if he doesn't play?
I mean, just CeeDee Lamb. I don't even think Brandon Cooks. Well, I mean, they didn't really. The only good offensive player last week was Pollard, and that's just because the defense killed it. So,
dude. Also, DeAndre Hopkins got 12 targets. I think only 8 of those were catchable, and he caught 7 of them. I got that from Next Gen Stats. Dude, he was unable to practice for the 3rd consecutive day. He's dealing with a high ankle sprain.
oh.
So that is very scary starting him, and he's going against the I just talked about who they're going against, the running back I like. The
Chargers.
So they're going to have to put up some points, dude. Like DeAndre, this would be a big this would be that's tough. This would probably be a big week for DeAndre Hopkins, man. But he's probably not going to play.
Yeah, that sucks because what we saw last week again for the Chargers defense, it does not look good.
Correct. With a defensive head coach, mind you. All right, is there anything else you can think of with news, Jason?
Other than I think Jerry Jeudy is active this week.
No, he is. I own it. I have him, and he is.
Yeah,
for sure.
I put him in my Yahoo league. I started him in the flex.
I'm thinking about either. My thing is like, should I start Jerry Jeudy his first week back from a hamstring, or should I start Puka Nacua dealing with the oblique and San Francisco 49ers. So that's pretty tough. Jason, I'm going to pee my pants, but before you do, I'm going to write down your start of the week. Who is it?
Ramondre Stevenson.
That's a good one, Jason. I believe in that one as well.
Yay! Who do they play against this week? They play against the Miami Dolphins, right? So let's go. Let's take a little look back. So last week when the Patriots played against the Eagles, he led all rushers with 12. He didn't do too great. He only got 25 yards. But we also saw what the Eagles defense did. Their defensive line did yesterday against the Vikings. So I'm guessing. Well, actually, I know they have like one of the better defensive lines in the league. They're going to be hard to run on for the whole season. So let's go and look at the Dolphins last week, and they went up against the Chargers, and the Dolphins gave up 200 yards plus to the Chargers running backs. So they look like they are not going to have a run defense at all. So I'm seeing Ramondre Stevenson, who only had like a 2 yards per carry last week, to get that bumped up to probably like around 80 yards, especially if the Patriots could keep the game close. And it might happen because, Bill Belichick has played against the Dolphins a few times in his career, coached against them. So, and even if the game gets like out of control or they're playing, Mac Jones is trying to play catch up the whole time, even last week, Ramondre Stevenson was 6 for 6 in receptions, where he had 6 receptions on 6 targets for 64 yards. And in PPR, that right there is 12 points. So because he's highly involved in the passing game and because the Dolphins defense the running defense isn't that good, I see him to have a big game this week.
So, Jason,
I really feel how buzzed I am when I'm not doing that.
Oh, dude, it's awesome, man. Yeah. It's awesome. I hope you're drinking too, but guess what? If you're not drinking, that's no big deal either. You could always have fun just being sober, because there's been many times in my life where I've had to take weeks off, months off. It was like drug tests, Jason, all kinds of stuff out there. Woo! Anyways, so the only thing that scares me is, and we'll talk about this with my start of the week, is that the Dolphins game plan for the Chargers. And I listened to Daniel Jeremiah and some other asshole. Dude, they kept their safeties in the parking lot. Like, the safeties were all the way back all game. So Kellen Moore just was taking what was given to him. He was running the shit out of the ball. Now, do I think that who are they going against this week, Jason?
The Dolphins, or Dolphins and Patriots.
Do I think the Dolphins will play the Patriots like that? I do not think so, because the Patriots do not have the weapons and everything that the Chargers have, and the quarterback and everything else. So that's the one thing I am nervous of. But the one thing I know, and I read a stat about it, I wish I would have taken a screenshot of it, was that Ramondre Stevenson, or pass catching running backs, kill the Dolphins apparently, and Vic Fangio. So, like, if you're going against a Vic Fangio defense, you want a pass-catching running back. Just look at Austin Eckler last week, dude. So, I think, in what you said, if the Dolphins happen to just, like, kill him, Ezekiel Elliott is out of the game plan. It's going to be all Ramondre Stevenson. And the odds are that the Dolphins are going to kill the Patriots. I don't know why I'm starting the Patriots defense, because I'm fucking crazy. That's the way it is, Jason. So, I think Ramondre Stevenson is a great start of the week.
Man, it sucks too. I had his projections down from ESPN, and off the top of my head, I want to say it's 11 points, and yeah, I think he's gonna get higher than 11 points this week.
All right, man. Well, this is gonna roll into my start of the week. You ever watch that Keenan and Kel?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Good Burger. Can I take your order? I heard there's going to be a Good Burger TV show.
Welcome to the Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. May I take your order?
I used to watch that movie so much. I think Sinbad was in it. He was like the teacher.
I don't know. You think Sinbad's in everything in the 90s?
Dude, Sinbad is in everything. Oh, Sinbad? Apparently, I don't know, dude. I don't know why I think Sinbad's in everything. He's a very, like, distinct looking dude. He's got like red hair and freckles. He's like 6'5". The hell am I talking about? All right, Jason. Keenan Allen, the Titans, is who they're going against. I just talked about. So you are afraid of Keenan Allen because of what happened last week. Oh shit, dude! The Chargers are now run heavy. Well, anyways, like I said, the fucking Dolphins and Vic Fangio kept their safeties in the parking lot, and they were getting killed on the ground. And they were like, I think it was Daniel Jeremiah, yeah, because he's Rich Eisen's friend, and he calls the Chargers games. And he was like, dude, I was waiting for the Chargers to adjust, or the Dolphins to adjust. They didn't give a fuck, man. They just kept on letting them run the ball. So that is what happened there. That's why Keenan Allen only got, let's see, what is that? What happened? Keenan Allen, Titan Super. Oh my god, dude. I can't even see what I'm doing. Anyways, Super against the runs gave the most points. Keenan Allen. Titans are super tough against the run, Jason. They had the third fewest allowed points to running backs in 2022, right behind the Pats and the Niners. So what I'm trying to say is the fucking Titans can stop the run. Unlike the Dolphins, they were just stopping the pass. So now they're going to be forced to pass. Kellen Moore just demonstrated he can adjust on the fly and go with the run or the pass, whatever the thing calls for. Because I don't give a fuck, dude. If I know Justin Herbert and the weapons they have, and Kellen Moore is the offensive coordinator, I'm not worried about the passing game. I was kind of worried about the running game, but now I'm not. Yeah, that's what I was talking about right there. So, anyways, Keenan Allen almost doubled the targets of the next leading wide receiver with 9. That's what I was trying to look at earlier. He ended up with 6 catches for 76 yards, and I was like, I expected more out of Keenan Allen against the Miami Dolphins. I was like, holy shit, man. It's like the highest point total of the week. But it was the game plan, dude. And now you're looking at the Titans, who gave up the most points overall to wide receivers in 2022. So the easiest defense against wide receivers last year. Now we're going to Kellen Moore, who is top 5, top 2 in scoring offense all the time. Depth to target, top 10 for the last 4 years with Dak Prescott and those weapons. And now the over and under for this is at 45. So it's going to be a really decent scoring game. The Titans just allowed both Olave and Rashid Shaheed, I think Rashid Shaheed, to score 19 plus fantasy points. So you can see Keenan Allen, dude. I'm looking for Keenan Allen to smash it, dude. He's going to get 20 plus. He's going to get 11 catches. He's going to kill this shit, dude. I'm telling you, he's going to get a touchdown, 11 catches, plus Keenan Allen, my start of the week.
I think that's pretty good. Last year, like you said, Tyler, the Titans were one of the best run stoppers in the league, but they were one of the worst in their secondary. And it looks like that trend's going to continue. They were 28th in the league so far, even though there's only been 1 week, but they gave up 282 receiving yards last week against the Saints. And Keenan Allen is like the Amari Cooper of the Kellen Moore offense. I can see him blowing up and getting the stats that you said. I think that's a great pick.
Thanks, Jason. I own Keenan Allen. I drafted Keenan Allen. I don't own him. I mean, digitally I do.
He's biased.
So I am biased. And, so now to my sleeper start of the week, Jason. It is Calvin Austin III. Guess what, man? Deontay Johnson got injured halfway through the game last week. Did you see that? Because you're a Deontay Johnson owner.
Yeah, and it was on a good play, too. And he was just running. Next, he fell and grabbed his hamstring. And I don't even think he was touched. And I'm like, no. Yeah,
it's hamstring. And then when you see, the updates, he was saying he doesn't know if he's going to go on IR or not. And I was what the fuck are you talking about, man? So I'm looking at probably 4 weeks out is what I'm guessing. And then,
at least.
Yeah, and then so we have Calvin Johnson, right? Or Calvin Johnson, I wish. Not so secret start of the week. So in college, he went against Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner is the best corner in the NFL sometimes?
He's the man.
So Sauce Gardner said that he is the best wide receiver that he's ever had to guard. He went 7 for 121 and forced 2 holding penalties against Sauce Gardner, Jason.
Well, damn, he's so fast. He was probably trying to hold on for dear life.
He's only 5.7. He's only 5'7", but he ran a 4.32 at the combine. So, his game speed matches his 40. And then after, so last week he had 6 receptions, which led the team. And they had 6 targets, the second most on the team. But he only had 37 yards against the 49ers last week. But that game was fucked, man. Like, they just got absolutely dominated. He had 2 targets before the Deontay injury. Then he had 4 targets after the Deontay injury. I could see this guy getting 10-plus targets, Jason, against the Browns. Dude, the Browns pass rush, they just got Zadarius Thomas, and now they have Myles Garrett. They killed. Like, dude, Joe Burrow had no time last week. I could see them looking at that tape and just trying to get the ball out of their hands real fast. And all of that is Calvin Austin, man. Calvin Austin the third. He lined up in the slot and outside. He also got a jet sweep. That is awesome. And then he had 3.2 yards of average separation last week, Jason. Zay Flowers had 3.5. So he is in there in that Zay Flowers kind of elusive, great route running speed category. This is his second season, but he missed all of last season with injuries. But the only problem with this is the game is only at an over or under at 38, which is like one of the lowest of the weeks, Jason. So there's not going to be a lot of fantasy points out there. I am just banking on like half PPR. I think this guy will be a great flex, maybe even a wide receiver 2 out there.
This guy's got some speed, and it's not something that you're blind to. You see it on the screen when you watch. In the preseason game, I believe it was against the Buffalo Bills, he had like a 50-plus yard touchdown from Kenny Pickett. The dude looked like he was jogging, and he burnt the defender. And it was just like he just ran straight. He's got some speed on him. He could be a big-time play. Big time.
Big time. All right, Jason. I didn't even pull up the stats, but let's get into Thursday night's football game. I'll do that right now.
Okay.
Did you learn more about the Vikings or more about the Eagles last night?
I think I learned more about the Eagles last night than I did the Minnesota Vikings. I feel like we've seen this with the Minnesota Vikings, so it was more of an Eagles. I mean, it's still kind of early, right? It's still like week 2. Things need to gel a little bit better, but honestly, I was thinking how, like, not too afraid of the Eagles from what I saw.
So the thing I could take, I think that you're right, because I was going to learn that the Vikings had an amazing defense under Brian Flores for the first half. I was like, holy shit, dude. This is the same thing, man, as a Vikings fan that happened to the Bucks. Like, they were shutting down the Bucks. They made adjustments, and that was it. So it's like Brian Flores goes in there with this plan, like, either stop the run or stop the pass. Last night was stop the pass. The week before was stop the run because it was Baker Mayfield, not Jalen Hurts. And then they adjust, and then Baker Mayfield was beating the Vikings deep. And then here, they were just running the shit out of the ball. So, like, that's what I noticed was that Brian Flores' first move he needs to have a counter move. I do believe in Brian Flores, but like I said, it took like 6 weeks to turn around the Miami defense when he took over that team. I'm expecting about 6 weeks for the Vikings defense, but like they were saying last night, like they're overmatched, man. Like the Vikings defense cannot handle the Eagles offense, and so it was just kind of like playing. He just did what he could, and then Jason, like Jalen Hurts. I'm a Jalen Hurts owner. That shit is scary, dude. I am like thinking about trading him while he has value. If he didn't get those 2, vulture touchdowns. Oh, that's nice, Ray. I didn't see that. 2 vulture touchdowns. Dude, like, he would have had, what? He had 27 points, so that's like minus 12. That'd be like 11. Oh, my God, I can't even think.
Wait, it's 15.
15.
Yeah.
I'm usually really good at easy math. Ray, I really like that checkered shirt. Yeah. I forgot about that shirt. I didn't even see the pants. All right, so I'm going to a wedding tomorrow. I thought I found clothes for it, but my wife is finding more clothes.
Oh.
Moving forward,
Jason,
so the game plan for the Eagles, right? The Eagles are 15-1 since Jalen Hurts came into the league when they rush the ball 30 plus times. They are 3-3 when they do not. So it's like they really followed the path that they've been following all the time. It's just usually there's a couple bombs, dude. And like the Vikings were just like stifling the Eagles the entire first half. I was like, holy shit. And then, but at the same time, dude, Jalen Hurts had like 26 points, halfway into the third quarter. But that's because of those vulture touchdowns, man. I don't know. I don't know what to think of the Eagles right now. Like Colin Cowherd said, like they have an identity crisis. Like they don't know what to do. I think that Shane Steichen, we're gonna look back and be like, this guy is like a Brian Dayball. Like, dude, Jalen Hurts needs Shane Steichen so bad, man. And just like I mean, we look at Josh Allen. At least Josh Allen was good enough to like still be a top. He was the number one quarterback last year. Dude, Jalen Hurts is falling off pretty fucking fast without Shane Steichen.
Yeah, what I was seeing from like Jalen Hurts last night, it was that he was making some poor decisions on the throw. When he threw that interception, I think he was throwing it to Devonta Smith. It was like a 3rd and 12, something like that, where you had like AJ Brown behind them. He was wide open. It would have been a better option, but he threw it to Smith. He got intercepted. And the Vikings, I think they had like 2 or 3 sacks on them in the first half, and they had I want to say a fumble that he also fumbled. So the first half, I was not impressed with the Eagles' passing game.
Yeah, dude, and it's like I know their schedule opens up, but if you're not going to do that against the Vikings at home, man, like what else are we waiting for? So like I don't know. I am very troubled right now. I do think that they're going to figure it out because I do have Anthony Richardson on the bench. So it's like, dude, what do I do, Jason? Like, would I trade Jalen Hurts for like a top tier wide receiver or running back, or would I just hold on to him and then hope that Anthony Richardson performs later and then I could trade him as well?
Yeah, I have Jalen Hurts in our 10-man league, and I was kind of thinking the same thing because I'm seeing it. There was a time where he only had like 2 points going into like halfway through the second quarter, and I'm like, gosh, man, this is just not it.
And
You know,
last
they
week, he
lost.
had and last week he had what, like 11 or 12?
Yeah, and like losing an offensive coordinator, it's you could tell it made an impact on him. And it was luckily they have what Richard Sherman called the push tush, and he was able to get those 2 1-yard touchdowns.
Yeah, man. So like that is like it's very scary as for a owner of man. Sorry, I'm thinking like if Jameer Gibbs does not do well. I mean, he gets like 10, 15 points this week. I think that you might be able to trade Jalen Hurts for Jameer Gibbs, and then I don't know, man. That's where my mind is right now because I've been thinking of a way to get Jameer Gibbs, and I don't have the players. But if I trade him and just keep Anthony Richardson, but then I'm banking on Anthony Richardson to take me to a championship. But right now, after that last game I saw, I believe in Shane Steichen so much. I'm like, well, fuck. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to think because he already passed for more yards than I ever thought he'd pass for. It was like 250 last week.
Yeah,
We'll see how Anthony Richardson goes.
that's interesting to think about too, because like I said, I have Jalen Hurts in our 10-man league, and let's say I trade him for Jameer Gibbs. You know who my quarterback is on my bench?
Oh, Jared Goff.
Kirk Cousins.
No way. And dude, and people, I want to tell people, they're like, oh, look at the line. Look at Kirk Cousins. He's such a good quarterback. Man, like that was garbage. That was all garbage. Okay. Like they were up by 20 points in the third quarter. And the way it shook out was them just playing like prevent defense until the very end. So like he is so lucky that he has Justin Jefferson and he's got Jordan Addison and all this shit. Because like, dude, Kirk Cousins, I do not think that he's a great quarterback. I know he's like 36 or something like that, but he's even fallen off even more this year.
I don't know. I kind of see it on a different take. Like the offensive line was not great. He's getting rushed every time.
They were on the third left tackle last night, Jason.
Yeah, they have injuries on that line. I don't even think their starting center was playing. I did see some amazing throws. I did see some amazing throws where I was like, oh, that's an interception. But it's also one of those throws like you could be kind of aggressive with it because you're throwing it to Justin Jefferson who could catch the ball like crazy. So I mean, he still put up what we got. Oh man, he still put up 364 yards on 70% completion percentage.
Jason, I do want to say, since Kirk Cousins got in the NFL, his record against teams that have made the playoff that year is 12-38.
Whoa.
Right? So it's like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, he feasts on the bad teams. He's lucky he was in the division with the Lions and the Bears for the last, like, 5 years, dude. And then, I don't know. I know that Kirk Cousins is going to be done this year. This is last year as a Viking, and I cannot wait until they get somebody else in there, dude. But you know what? It's not bad. And then Jason, let's talk about the weapons for the Vikings. Hawkinson went off. I wanted Hawkinson in the 4th round. I usually drafted him in all my leagues. And like I said, Tyreek Hill got drafted in the 1st round for the first time in a long time before I could pick him. So I went Kelsey, but Hawkinson is now paying off. The problem is that it's all garbage time, Jason. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know how to really assess that situation.
I think TJ Hawkinson is like doing great. Like he already had over 10 points in the first quarter. So he did get a second touchdown in the 4th quarter, but he scored the first touchdown to make it 7 points to make it, 24-7, or actually he scored the first touchdown. I think they had the lead at that point. Wasn't it like 7-3? Could be wrong. But he did score the first touchdown for the Vikings. And it was a play action on goal line, which is something to keep in mind. And he was second in the team in targets, and he had 3 red zone targets that actually led the Vikings. So the thing is, it's like the Vikings defense is breaking down so fast. Like Kirk Cousins is having to throw the balls like to the closest wide receiver that's to him, and normally that's TJ Hawkinson.
Dude, he's got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and TJ Hawkinson to throw to. Plus, he threw that wide open touchdown to KJ Osborne, who dropped so many fucking passes last night. I got super pissed.
Yeah, that was the easiest touchdown that KJ Osborne's ever going to have. And I think at that point, the Eagles were on their 3rd string defensive back. Like he had no idea how to play or what was going on. Definitely missed coverage.
But so let's just say Kirk Cousins has thrown for 710 yards and 6 touchdowns in his 2 weeks, and they're 0-2, so this is pretty much all garbage time. I feel like he's a garbage master. I hate Chris Brotman from the Rich Eisen show, but he was on the same page as me with Kirk Cousins, man. Like, don't be thinking he's so good, man, because he's really just it's just all garbage.
Well, the thing is, it's like he may not be good for like NFL standards.
He's great for fantasy.
He's great for fantasy because, Tyler, this is what he did last year, too. This is like the same Vikings that we saw last year where they fall behind. Then Kirk Cousins is having to throw the ball at the end to put himself to give him the lead or tie the game or put himself like in a competition of the game. So even if it's garbage time, like it's good for fantasy.
All right, moving on. Jason Alexander Madison. I keep on talking shit about him. People tell me I'm wrong, but yeah.
Let me just add one more thing real quick. It's just like I think Kirk Cousins is actually going to end 2023. He's going to end 2023 better than he did in 2022.
I think he was a top 10 quarterback. So
I think he's going to. I think he's going to be a little bit better. Let me give you this stat real quick. Tell me what you think about it. He's on pace for 6,000 yards and 51 touchdowns right now.
Yeah, fuck that.
I think there is a very bad Kirk Cousins game coming in the near future.
You're totally right. Thank you for extrapolating that, Jason. That is great.
Yeah.
That's a very good stat because that ain't happening.
Yep.
I mean, that's like, what's his name? Just said he could throw for 6,000 yards. Dan Marino. Now Kirk Cousins is going to do it?
I know Dan Marino.
It ain't happening. So Alexander Madison, Jason. Like I said, I've been telling you guys he sucks for the last 2 years. I've been getting a lot of flack for it. And then you look at this game, man. Like, seriously, he is not it. Ty Chandler at least looks explosive when he catches passes, but, like, I wish they would trade for a good running back, man. Like, trade for Jonathan Taylor or, like, I don't know what they need to do, but, Vikings are known for good defense and good running backs. We do not have a good running back right now.
There is no running game in the Vikings in Minnesota. There's no running game. Madison, like
last week for Madison.
Yeah. His yards per carry did not improve. He was 8 rushes for 28 yards, and at least he had 3 receptions for PPR games, but he also had a fumble. In our league, Tyler, he had 2.5 points. And it's just like, okay, so when you're like watching the game, you're seeing like DeAndre Swift for the other team, like he goes in the center. The line is blocking. He bounces outside, but it's like Alexander Madison, like he don't care. If the coach says to run through this gap, I'm going to run through this gap, even if there's no opening. And that's what
he doesn't make his own decisions.
right. He's like, I'm going through here, or try to go through it, and he'll go get hit. I think his longest rush of the game was like 7 yards.
Yeah, yards after contact isn't really his forte either. So it's just like he gets hit, he goes down.
And he had 3 drops in the game too.
And a fumble. So it's just like the Vikings had 4 fumbles. And the Vikings not had 4 fumbles, they would have won that game. You know, like Kirk Cousins, oh my god, dude. They even had oh my god. Anyway.
Yeah, it's rough, Tyler. It's how long before it's like let's see Ty Chandler be the starting running back, you know? How long before we actually see him?
And even when he's in, I don't know how good that's going to be. It's like I don't know, dude. I want a premier running back in the system like a Todd Gurley, you know, but then you look at the Rams, you know, they don't really run the ball that well because this guy is a Sean McVay dude, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, let's go on. Justin Jefferson, Jason, 11 catches for 159 yards. He had like 150 yards last week. He's going to break the record for most 150-yard plus games a year. He is just 24 years old, and he now has more career receiving yards than any Chicago Bears receiver in the team's history. 100 plus years of it.
Yeah, I saw that stat too hit up like my Instagram a few times. It's good.
And now he's got 5,134 receiving yards. He has the most receiving yards through a player's first 54 games. And he's only played in 52, so he's going to have like a couple hundred more yards than that. But the problem is, again, he could have like 2,000 yards and 0 touchdowns, Jason. Like,
oh my gosh,
it is all other shit in the red zone. So he needs to catch it. He relies on these long touchdowns. So he almost had one last night, but that was such bullshit, dude. I hate that fucking rule.
Yeah. You know, he wanted that touchdown. He's like, I haven't scored since 1984. Fumbled it.
Did you see him like he had his like chain on and he made some catch
and he broke it?
Chain was like, I was like, dude, they're gonna outlaw that shit.
Man. I know. It's like Marvin Harrison Jr. for Ohio State. Like he played with his Apple Watch on.
You know what time it is?
Tyler, 2 things. You know who's the last wide receiver to go back-to-back 150 receiving yards in the first 2 weeks of the NFL?
No. Who is it?
Steve Smith.
Are you talking about the Giants, Steve Smith?
No, Steve Smith Jr.
Okay, cool. Steve Smith is a shit. So I wonder when that was.
Wait, is he a junior? He's a junior, right?
I don't know, but Steve Smith is awesome. So
he's the last one. He's the last one to do it. And Jefferson right now is on pace for 2,626 receiving yards.
2,600.
And 0 touchdowns.
0 touchdowns. So, Jefferson, dude, I picked Jefferson. I was the number 1 pick at random in our new 10-man league. I picked Justin Jefferson, of course, my Justin Jefferson. And, he's living up to it. If you can get like 13 targets, I think he got like 15 targets last week, man.
Yeah.
That's the dream. You're living the dream. So continue to live your dream with Justin Jefferson. Who cares about the touchdowns? Just live your dream. Be happy with that.
I know. I mean, that's like the next note that I put underneath that. Like he's not scoring the touchdowns. I hope he gets more than 7 touchdowns this year. But he's still worth that number 1 fantasy pick because of the targets, because of the receptions, because of the yards.
And then, Jason, somebody asked if they should start Jordan Addison or Amari Cooper this week. I went Amari Cooper. And then Jordan Addison caught that 62-yard touchdown. I was like, shit. So that was one shitty thing. But I think that Jordan Addison is opening up this offense. I think that he alone is like, do you see KJ Osborne, dude? You see how shitty he is. Like,
yeah,
he drops passes. He is not an elite number 2, like Devontae Smith on the other side of the field. So it's like, now we have that in Jordan Addison. I love Jordan Addison going forward. If you could trade for Jordan Addison, I wish he didn't catch that long touchdown so you could trade for him. But yeah, he's going to be a wide receiver 2 the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think him and KJ Osborne had the same targets this game, but he's definitely their deep threat guy. I mean, the only problem is like, can Kirk Cousins get enough time to throw deep? I mean, it was a great play that when Kirk Cousins did it. Like, he looked off the safety. He actually had time in the pocket. He stood up, and it was one-on-one coverage. And it was a beautiful thrown ball to Jordan Addison. And we're going to see that more and more throughout the season. I feel like, yeah, I mean, you can start this dude in your flex, like, I feel like every week now, just because of how the Vikings are going to have to end up playing, where they're going to get a lot of points in garbage time.
Jason,
Yeah.
remember I said my bold prediction was that him and Justin Jefferson were going to be both top 15 wide receivers. Well, guess what, dude? I guarantee after 2 weeks, they are.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did.
So
And
my bold prediction is coming correct. You know why? Because my own fucking team, and I actually know shit. All right.
yeah, and like we get those bonuses for 50 yards, 50-yard bonuses. So he got 17 points in our league.
Yeah, that was great. And then TJ Hawkinson, where I talked about him. This is why you drafted him. He was second in the league as far as tight end goes and targets last year. This is what you're chasing. 8 targets. If he's getting 7 to 8 targets a game, man, that's all you want. But he actually got 2 touchdowns. So he is the red zone threat. Because like I said, dude, Justin Jefferson's kind of like off the map on the red zone.
Yeah.
Care about him.
It's just so weird.
So it's all like TJ Hawkinson. So, dude, I think that TJ Hawkinson in the 4th round would have been a great pick this year.
Yeah, he's definitely he had over 10 points last week. He's got over 20 points this week. I think he's doing his part.
Are you laughing?
Yeah.
I got to pee so bad. Jason, KJ Osborne sucked, man. Did you see him drop all those passes? That's the last person I want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those situations where it's like, I'm talking about like, oh, and my player paused. I was like, KJ Osborne and Jordan Addison are getting around the same targets, but look who's producing more with those opportunities. It's definitely Jordan Addison, the rookie. KJ Osborne had probably the easiest touchdown that he's ever going to get in his entire life, but he's also not catching the ball. He had like 3 drops in the game. That's not what you want to see. He's going to be one of those guys that, like, if you need any help, you're going to put in KJ Osborne, and then you're going to pray that he gets one of those easy touchdowns again, because right now I believe that like Jordan Addison's going to take those Adam Thielen roles, those targets, and right now, like I said, I think they both had 6 targets this last game, but I think Addison's targets are going to continue to grow throughout the year.
Who would you rather have, Jason? Mark Andrews or TJ Hawkinson going forward?
I'm right now TJ Hawkinson, since Mark Andrews is a chance might not even play this week, man.
Well, you drafted Mark Andrews. I tried to draft Mark Andrews. I was like, God damn it, I lost that league because I didn't draft Mark Andrews.
Gosh, man. But if TJ is going to lead that team in red zone targets, that's huge.
Yeah. All right, so moving on the other side of the ball, Jason, Jalen Hurts. Like I said, he did not score many points against I think he scored like 11 or 12 points against the Patriots. And then you saw last night, man, if it wasn't for those 2 vulture touchdowns, he would have done shitty again. So I am very concerned about Jalen Hurts. We already talked about this. How do you feel, Jason?
Yeah, I think that was one of the concerns that I have going in. I was like, the Eagles' offense does not look the same. Yeah, they were able to run the ball against that Vikings defensive line. Like, don't get me wrong, the Eagles still probably have like the best offensive line in the league. Those holes that are open for DeAndre Swift, that was amazing. But the passing and like game did not look like it was on point like it was last year.
Yeah, like I said, Shane Steichen, man, you could tell that Jalen Hurts is missing Shane Steichen, so I am nervous. I'm thinking about trading him for Jahmyr Gibbs. And then now, Jason, I put this guy as a must start for running back 2 numbers on our start or sit if Gainwell didn't play. DeAndre Swift, 28 carries, 175 yards. I mean, you guys all saw it, dude. 6.3 yards per carry, a touchdown. He dominated. He absolutely dominated. And it's like, that's great. But I still want to see what happens when Gainwell. People are like, oh, well, Gainwell just lost his job. Well, it's like, dude, I think it might be a 50-50 when he comes back. I'm not really too concerned. I think the only person I'm concerned about, Jason, is Rashad Penny. And other than that, I think all the other running backs look good.
I know. Why? It's like, what is going on? Why would they pick him up and then barely even play him? And the thing is, it's like, Philadelphia knows that the reason why Detroit got rid of Swift is because of his injuries. He couldn't ever
And then
stay
they ran him
healthy.
20, and then they ran him 28 times.
Then they ran him 28 times. I swear, every time that I saw him run, I was like, this dude is going to get hurt. This guy is going to get hurt in this game. But he did look good, though. It was kind of frustrating because when I saw that Gainwell was out, I went in our Yahoo League to go pick up Swift. But then they're all like, oh, the claim's not going to go through till like September 16th. And I'm like, what the hell?
I hate Yahoo so much, man. Like, their shit is so confusing. I don't
I
understand.
know. I was like, bro, I want him for tonight. What the hell? Why? Why is it like that?
They're so stupid. So, yeah, there. And then Rashad Penny actually had a holding penalty on that got a touchdown called back, Jason.
Yeah.
So it's like, not only did he, not look that great, he also got that. So I had high hopes for Rashad Penny. I thought he was actually going to emerge as the number one. And now I am not looking at that. And then Jason, the dude I made my short after, Devonta Smith, I was like, this is the must start. It's funny because I made a short about Gainwell, and then I looked at the news and it was like Gainwell out, and I was like, well, shit. I believe in Devonta Smith, and it was great. He had the same amount of catches as AJ Brown, but he had 131 yards, whereas AJ Brown only had 29.
Yeah, and that touchdown that he had, it was too easy. Too easy. Did he even I don't even think he
outran the safety, dude.
Yeah, that's all it was. And it was just caught him, just jogged in. I mean, and I think it was one of the first plays of the game. He had a 48-yard reception too to start off the game. So this guy looks like he's going to be getting hit early and often.
Yeah, and that was a cover 2 defense. Like Richard Sherman in the halftime was like, they're playing cover 2, just run it till they stop, and they're not going to stop running it. And it's like, yeah, well, shit. So it was like super deep cover 2. Devonta Smith still ran past that, which was amazing. So Devonta Smith is looking good, man. I think my short, I said that he's making me look like an idiot. His ADP was like 26, and I was like, that's way too fucking high for a number 2 wide receiver on a team, But I would not. So if you're looking at AJ Brown, I would try to trade for AJ Brown, Jason.
Did you see him get upset in yesterday's game? He's like, give me the ball. I want the ball. So, they're going to be forcing it. I mean, look what happened right after that. Like, they started throwing him the ball. He had that touchdown that was called back because of Rashad Penny. Then he threw it again to him in the end zone, which I believe was like a pass interference, but they just didn't call it. So, he was making his voice loud and clear that he wants the ball.
And then Jason, Dallas Goedert, man, I think he got 1 target for 0 catches last week, or maybe 0-0 against the Pats, and I was like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like, I wanted Dallas Goedert. Like, Dallas Goedert's been like I said, he's like a top 3 tight end for me usually. And you saw the beginning of the game, dude. I swear to God, like, so he only had I think he only had 7 targets this game. Let me look. Yeah, 7 targets. I think like 6 of them came in the first quarter.
Yes, I know. They went after Dallas early. They were like, hey, let's get this guy involved. And what it looked like,
this guy evolved.
It's like
evolve
and to go dirt take.
What they say, Jason, is it was like a roast to Peyton Manning. He's like, Peyton looks like a human being that has evolved to play football with no helmet. That was the Pete Davidson.
Oh my gosh, Petey. That's so funny.
They showed Peyton Manning, and his head was just like,
oh yeah, oh my god, that's actually pretty good. Well, Tyler, the one thing I really noticed is like in the first quarter, they were trying to throw the ball and it wasn't working. Hurts was getting sacked. He was throwing interceptions. And then they just started to run, and the running was going so well that they ran the ball quite a few times. I mean, in the first half, Tyler, like the time of possession was Vikings 9, Eagles 21. And it's hard, and all they did was just run. They just ran they got to that point where like, oh, we're just gonna run on these guys, and they just ran the ball. So,
and you're like, oh man, the Vikings, like, per minute they killed them. Like, look at what they did with their opportunities. They didn't even have any time of possession. But it's like, well, yeah, dude. But it's like it was the defense they were playing like prevent defense, like from like when they were up by 20, and like it was a big surprise when they got up, and then you saw them march down the field and touch. But I do believe, I think it was like it was a fumble on the punt, and then I think the Vikings stopped Jalen Hurts, and then it was then Kirk Cousins had his chance, and that drive stopped, and then they just started scoring touchdowns. So it's like, yeah, there was turnovers, but fuck, man, Kirk Cousins still had his chance, man. Like the Vikings they just gave away that game last night. Like I know that the Eagles are like, oh man, like look at us, dude. But it's like they are not that great right now because the Vikings could have won that game.
They had 3 turnovers in the first half. One was a punt return that was doing pretty dang good until he fumbled it by Powell. Then Alexander Madison fumbled it, and then Justin Jefferson fumbled it at the goal line, what could have brought the game to like 24-14. And then the first possession in the second half, Kirk Cousins fumbled it.
Jason, move your head forward.
I know, the light's coming on
me. Step into the light. Oh, it's so scary looking. There is the biggest difference in you don't even see your background. It's like 3 like bright lines of your face, and that's it. The background goes dark. All right. Okay. Anyways, people, that is the show, right, Jason, or no?
I think that's it.
That is the show. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully we earned a thumbs up. Hopefully we earned a subscription because we need it, man. Help change our lives. Help change our lives. I said that last time. I was like, help change our lives.
Yeah.
Anyways, again, dude, thank you so much. Like a thumbs up, all that helps so much. You do not understand until you start making this shit. Yeah. Jason, please send us out.
We got a video coming out Sunday.
Live. Questions.
Everybody who went in last time, thank you so much. That was so fun watching Tyler do that while he set up a crib for my unborn child. It was a lot of fun to watch. Tyler was awesome. It's going to happen again Sunday night Raw. Just kidding, but Sunday morning. And we'll see you then.
Sunday.
Deuces.
Later.